Um, so I can only really focus on one paragraph at a time. so and so apologies for that, but when you started to talking about the veterinary aspect, for instance, I was still digesting what you'd said about the first point, and I was trying to organize the sentences. Um, we
Yeah,
we
maybe it's better if you know my vision more or less, and then
yeah
we can
yeah
insert it on different places
yeah
because
yeah
discontinuity is more a temporal concept, saying
yeah
20 years ago we already had some, or
yes
Ebola was the last dangerous situation, pandemic situation, but it could be controlled.
yeah
And the cross specialism. So this is the second point is the
yeah
virology. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I've started to do is I've started to record the session in case I need to go back and re-listen to what you were saying. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't forget. But this is so the first point is that we lost the history, so which is
Yeah,
very usual. 20 years ago is past, and it's Stone Age, and this
yeah,
is wrong. At
yeah.
least in medicine, I know
Mm,
my faculty, I know. And the second point is the interdisciplinarity, which is
mm,
not there is no integration. Um, yeah,
yeah,
uh, I would say I have the term intradisciplinary. You see the
yeah,
term where the yellow mark is
mm,
interdisciplinary integration of medicine with all these specializations. There is a lack of general
yes,
um, general medicine or integrative perspectives like public health maybe, but it's too weak.
yeah, yeah.
There's
So
not much effort, not much money, not many chairs, not many
no,
institutes in the world which are
yeah,
explicitly and successfully integrated,
yeah,
working, trying to put together all the different medical
yeah,
special views.
yeah.
So this is
So
the second.
okay, so what we're saying here is that by looking at the timeline, this lack of interdisciplinary effort will become evident. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's the second big point that the interdisciplinary integration of medicine or the connection of medicine with, for instance, economy is
Mm,
not cultivated. It
mm,
is even confronted, saying what is good for health is bad for economy, which
mm,
is partially true, but partially wrong. And it's a complicated relationship between economy and medicine. So there's the, so to say, extra disciplinary relation from medicine to other disciplines, which should be the basis of evidence-based politics.
yeah. Okay. And the third point.
Yeah, there's one key point that it is a top-down management, not integrating people from the practice and the people who are affected by COVID, like relatives and so on. So this is the transdisciplinarity thing, probably also.
Mm,
But systemic management would say we construct the whole procedure to make no, a new governance of this pandemic problem by structuring the whole system of observation of the epidemic and making decisions and formulating measures and controlling the adherence of the population to the measures in a big control loop and like Stafford Beer, yeah. So
mm,
this is using the experiences with Stafford Beer because he
mm,
wanted to regulate the whole nation, and he was thinking that, as you know, that computerized or computer-based governance or government would be possible and would optimize the whole management problem of a nation. So this is an aspect which can be criticized
Mm,
because
mm,
the government collects information from different disciplines, then they come together, then they make decisions, probably they ask some experts, and then they implement it, and then they are astonished that the measures do not work, like lockdowns or testing, mass testing, and all these things. They are just away from the human reality or from the life world.
mm, mm.
And the strategy of systemic management would always try to start with the transdisciplinarity approach, bringing the people together who are affected or who should be the operators of the whole thing. So
Mm.
this was the idea when I was writing down this
Okay.
third.
Okay.
You agree?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you're thinking perhaps drawing on viable system model, for instance, here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Stafford Beer. So
Yeah.
for instance, yeah. If this would be a template for the government to say we would like to govern in according to systems management principles, then they should work in another way and they would be more efficient. This is the hypothesis or the proposition.
Complex adaptive evolvable
Yes.
systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. So the point four is just concluding everything and suggesting. I mean, there's one thing I personally favorize that I was writing an article that system thinking and social ecology would be the frameworks and methods and procedures to handle such problems, such complex problems. And social ecology is more or less the scientific approach to study ecological and social systems, how they are interpenetrating them, and like studying a valley or a city or so on many levels,
Mm.
social levels and ecological levels, biological levels, so to say. And so the first question is where did the virus come from? And there's the leading hypothesis that it is the consequence of no, deforestation or how you call it,
Deforestation.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You were right. Yeah.
And so the animals lost their territories and therefore they have to adapt to urbanized space where they lived before, and then the humans are, so the interpenetration between biological or natural ecosystems with human ecosystems.
Yeah.
And in this boundary field, there is the jumping of the animals to the human life
Yeah.
world, to objects, and then they um, transfer the viruses. So
Mm.
this is the leading hypothesis which the WHO favorizes after they are traveling to
Okay.
China. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so this is the idea that and it also implies that the virus has a eigendynamic, yeah.
Mm.
So the mutations,
Yeah.
and now we have the double mutation in India and so on. So just to admit that nature has many components and the not yet well understood eigendynamic. I don't know how to self dynamics maybe is the best.
Mm.
Uh, but eigendynamic is also. So system thinking alone is not enough. We should have. I mean, I have this sentence, this saying. Um, System thinking is empty, and ecology is blind. You know,
Hmm.
system thinking without ecology is empty, and ecology without system thinking is blind. Doesn't see connections. So this is the um, Kantanian saying, you know, observations without um, thinking is,
Yeah, I like that.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
You can reformulate it, but the idea is that it's a dialectic, you know.
Yeah.
Systems, many systems people are just writing down differential equations and say now they have the solution to understand human systems, but they cannot
Yes.
interpret the variables.
Yeah.
And the others collect data, have lists of data, matrices of data, and then they just make the data analysis with multivariate analysis or other graph theoretical approaches, and then they say, okay, I don't know what it means for the real life because they have this methodological legs. Just can analyze data, but not knowing what kind of data, what the data are. If the data have enough indicator quality for a system state.
Okay.
So this is the, yeah, it could be integrated the first sector, and this is just
Yeah.
more details to the point one. This is what I wanted to do. The COVID, yeah.
Okay.
So
So
this could be integrated. I could write it in a, you know, in my understanding, and you can make the good English editing.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So the
yeah,
this
sorry. Yeah, not too fast. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So that would go into number one. Yeah.
yeah. Number one is number one. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Do you want me to move it?
Yeah, we can move it. Yeah. Uh,
Same again. Move to two.
yes, but sorry, I did not see what number one. Aha, the pre. Yeah, exactly. So we can. Do you see my? No, you don't see. Um, can you go back to the one which you inserted now to the
Yeah.
first line, to the first line?
Hmm.
Yeah, the pre-COVID situation you could base somewhere to the green first line of the number one. So there's a transition.
Okay.
Right. No, okay, sorry, and I will edit it. I was not clear in my. Yeah, okay. I will make it a little bit more uh, uh, fluent. Yeah,
Okay.
but now we have the points. Put it together. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So number two um, was genau specialist. This is the problem,
Yeah.
and so we have. Yeah, there's one basic problem with the first section of the point two. Where do we? Who is we? This is what I asked
Hmm.
at the very beginning when we decided to write on this article. I only I'm only able to refer to I mean, with good quality of arguments,
Yeah.
the high validity of my arguments regarding Germany and Austria. I would say Austria first and then Germany.
Right.
But I don't know the English situation. I lost the contact with the international European situation in
Mm.
summer, in June, July, and then I had to focus on the German and Austrian
Okay.
situation. So the we is the worldwide we,
Mm.
but I'm not able to talk about it. So we should write somewhere that it is that this paper mainly refers to the Central European situation or European situation. This is what if you could contribute the British situation because of the Brexit there was much confusion. And after Johnson had his COVID, there was a change in the situation. And so I would like to have, if we say we mean Europe, and then you could probably look what was going on or is going on in the British discussion currently.
Mm.
They have very good, very, very high quality estimation or assessment of the COVID situation. It's much better than the German analysis and assessment, and the Austrian, of course. So then we could write somewhere. We focus with our arguments on the European situation and mainly on Germany and Austria. So this is must be said somewhere at the very beginning.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if the Australian would. I mean, the geographical validity of the text we are writing. This is my problem. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Austria and say this is worldwide true because Bolsonaro had a very different strategy than Trump had a different strategy the last
Yes.
summer.
Yeah.
And so there's always a change of strategies and in different countries, and this had effects in the transfer of the virus because traveling restrictions and so on, and quarantine and so. But you can only, I think one only can validly talk about the country where one is living, knowing all the political noise and all these things to identify the real driver of the pandemic regarding
Okay.
the public health issue.
Okay.
Okay. So the number two is mainly showing the timeline, but based on the different disciplines which are contributing evidence about the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
And I think that in summer, already in June or July or August, the Chinese knew everything, which is now
Mm.
discussed. Like
Mm.
long COVID was already known to the
Mm.
Chinese in summer.
Yeah.
There are some papers where you can see it. They also showed that after an infection, some people have a reinfection after 3 or 4 months. So now we have somebody who had a doctor who was in the media in Austria, and he had COVID and had a positive serology, antibodies, and these days again had the infection with COVID, only with mild symptoms, but uh, it was not absolute immune. So
Yeah.
even 3 months after the acute event, there's a weakening. The response, immune response, can be weak.
Mm. Mm.
Not making you because she had some coughing and some sneezing, and so she could be a spreader.
Yeah.
And it was not the rhinovirus, but it was the COVID, the SARS-CoV-2 virus. So, and the Chinese did know it already in summer, late summer or fall. Okay.
Yeah.
So this was the idea to show the sequence of contributions of different
Yeah. I
medical,
see. Yeah.
and then summarizing it in this diagram. But now the computer is crazy. Okay, I have to look in your computer.
Uh, okay. So I see how it's structured now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, the main task is now to bring together the overview with these four parts with the more detailed sections,
Yes.
which, yeah, and to make some filling sentences that
Mm.
it is a whole,
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
Yeah. And we could probably do with some diagrams as well.
Uh, there were some diagrams. They are lost now.
It seems so, yeah.
Oh,
So perhaps when you move the content, the diagrams weren't also moved.
hey.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. Okay, so I can I had some diagrams which I think are, at least they fit to the text mainly, and so I could insert them after our session.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But the main question is, I don't know if you had the time and if the text was readable enough. But what do you think about this um, vision of text of this text, the theme or the topic? Is it what you think we can?
Yeah, I like it. So I think the four main headings work. Yeah. So um
I was not the inventor of this title, because I
mm,
think Richard and Eugene were more
mm,
just in a conversation. It came
yeah,
up this idea, but I'm not so good in following the different dialects. Yeah,
yeah,
so also
yeah.
the technical
I think we
transmission.
I think we could come up with something better. It's hard to digest the statement.
Yeah, which one?
This one, I think that can be improved.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
You can underline it with normal
yeah,
if you. I see. But now we can switch off. We can switch off the green nah, highlighting.
yeah.
We can switch it off, because now if we just look across this text, then we could just say, okay, this is the version at 12 o'clock, and then we work on it. I try to make it more readable.
Okay. So I'll take away the green then. There we go. Looks better
Okay.
already.
Now we can read it finally. Yeah. Okay. Uh, do you think? I mean, who from our group could or should participate in the final
Well, I think all of
writing?
them. I mean, I think they can all read it, yeah, and
Yeah,
make
yeah. As
suggestions.
the
Yeah,
author, to be responsible for the text. I mean, now I have it is a suggestion, yeah. So
mm,
my thing, my argument is, and this is very very strong. Um, the if something is happening, I mean, like the numbers are going up in, let's say, in a county in Austria right now, because they had finished the lockdown.
yeah,
Now the numbers are going up. They don't really know why they go up. Yeah. Is it because the people are meeting in private rooms, or because they had been in restaurants, so they cannot identify
The
the
reason.
focus? Yeah.
Mm.
So now they ask the virologist, but the virologist, the everyday work environment of a virologist is the laboratory. They make electronic microscopy, or they make this PCR tests and so
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
but they are not testing outside the concentration of the virus, the behavior of the people, class specific, gender specific, milieu specific, age specific, and so on. This is a sociological issue. They are not sociologists, but their
Yes.
recommendations are what to do. And they are not even the most appropriate people would be environmental medical people, or environmental health experts.
Yeah.
They would know how to measure airflow,
Yes.
concentration, evaporation, emission of viruses during talking, during singing, during screaming, and so on. And they could identify the time, the product of time, the integral of time and concentration, yeah,
Mm.
and all these things, temperature, dependence of the virus, reproduction, replication, and so on. So this is the thing I want to say, that if we would be deciders, and we have to solve the problem how to protect health of the people, and how to enable them to live their lives as usual, more or less, then, and if we then use experts, we cannot ask a virologist, epidemiologist, and so on. We must ask maybe 15 different disciplines, and I just demonstrate here 10 or so, or 9, yeah.
Mm.
And with the result of this description, that we need urgently intradisciplinary integration within medicine for
Yeah.
health, for
Yeah.
global health, for all
Yeah.
these things. And
Yeah.
there are severe problems to come from the molecular level to the
Yeah.
organismal level, which is a Bertalanffy viewpoint. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need a organism-centered systems medicine, and
Yeah.
not a molecular
Yeah.
centered
Agree. Yeah.
systems medicine,
Yeah.
and a biopsychosocial framework for
Yeah.
understanding a pandemic. This should be explicit and basic
Yeah.
starting point to consider the virology and all these things. So this is the main message. And because of the complexity argument, we say, you could say, okay, what we do with our physiology discussion here in our group, that we develop a system theoretically guided conceptualization of the physiology of COVID. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
And we also can use system thinking for management questions, how to organize the control, not by digitalization and by the electronic vaccination passport and all this stuff, which are just instruments, but they only work if the people operate in this way.
Yeah.
And this means a fundamental understanding of how of social psychology, of cultural sociology, and all these things, field sociology. How do the people behave in the ecological space they live in, the life world? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so on. So there is nearly no sociologist integrated in these discussions, and also the economists they lack. So this is then the big picture, the very big picture,
Yeah.
which is needed
Yeah.
for the great control loop from population, science, politics, public administration, which is the executor of the plans how to control the epidemic. So okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this was the vision. I don't,
Yeah,
if
no,
it works, then it's fine. If you think that this is appropriate for our
no, I
activity,
do. Yeah,
happy
yeah,
that
yeah,
I can work very
yeah,
fast and soon I can proceed. But if not, I'm
yeah,
lost
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
because
so
I'm more interested in the physiology thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
This is my main interest because the people still are sick, they die, and we
mm,
don't have appropriate understanding of the pathophysiology, and we don't have appropriate medications,
yeah,
which should be a mix of known medications. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the structure of the papers that we discussed, and I know that was a session that you know you weren't you
Yes.
missed because of confusion.
The
Yeah.
8th of April. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we the so we've got essentially the introductory paper which Jennifer is going to put together, and we can probably expand on the letter that we wrote to the editor. You know, that's the original, that sets the scene, if you like. And then the paper that we're working on is, you know, the how did we get here, and what are the observations in terms of the opportunities or the problems
Mm.
that we missed and could have done something better. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the next one is enabling a system science based approach to future health challenges. So the idea of this is to okay, synthesize all of the problems, yeah,
Yes.
and then give a little bit of an explanation about what system science is and the basis for system science, and then to explain how we can apply system science to address the problems and the opportunities better that we illustrated in paper 2.
Yes.
And then paper 4 is about the host response to COVID and the potential drug targets to prevent severe infection. Then we've got the long COVID situation described, and again, you know, how we can use some of the things that were talked about in paper 4 in this context. Number 6 is now bringing together the whole system perspective, you know, in terms of the progression of COVID-2, and I think that this would address the urbanization issue as well. So, you know, this is now
I was
looking at.
thinking this was Richard's paper.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But this,
Tropism of the virus was
yeah.
one of the keywords. Yeah.
Yeah. But the idea is that these people are kind of taking the lead as the editor of the paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But everyone is contributing. That's the overall idea.
Who is for number 4?
Number 4, that's Eugenie.
Ah, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've spelled Arno's wrong because name is wrong as well. So I'll need to change that. Anand, it should be.
Yes. And 3. It was okay. Good. Then, so
3, I think you and I need to work on that together. Yeah. You know,
3.
like, yeah. So like you and I are working together on number 2. I
Yes.
think we
Yeah.
need to work together on number 3 as well. Yeah,
Okay.
because we both got, you know, a deep system science background.
Okay.
So Anand is going to look at the digital healthcare aspects,
Yes.
and see what's possible there in terms of surveillance and possible, you know,
Yes.
healthcare management.
Yes.
And then, you know,
And this sorry, the guy from India. I don't know.
that's right. Yes. Yeah.
Did you have a response of him that
Yes.
after
Yes.
the session?
Yeah. Yeah. He was actually in our last
Anand.
session. Yeah. Anand Kumar.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the co-chair of the Nkosi architecture working group. He's also a long-standing member of the ISSS.
Yes.
Um,
And he will after this session where I have seen him and we have heard him at least. You had contact and he said yes, I
Yes.
will do it. Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
he
So
did
confirmed.
attend. Yeah, he did attend the last session.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But after the session, you had no contact that he said yes, I will do it.
Oh no,
He's
he'd already said he would.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's definitely in.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
interested. It's a good contribution. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is number 7.
Yeah.
So
The paper the paper I'm worried about. The last paper I'm worried about is one that I was hoping that Kerry was going to lead. but Kerry is now too busy with another project that she's working on. So I still think that we probably need to do this, and we
What about Ray Eisen?
yeah, Ray would be really good, but Ray would be excellent.
Gerald Mitchley?
Yeah, well, Gerald again, I think would be really good. The problem with Gerald is he's already severely overloaded, and I really doubt if we'd be able to get him. I haven't
Yeah.
tested Ray Ison. Ray might be interested, and he of course has a huge amount of material we could already draw on,
Yes.
with governance for the Anthropocene and all of that kind of stuff. So he would really be ideal. I mean, I know Ray fairly well. How well do you know Ray? I'm just wondering, what would be the best way to try and rope him in?
I introduced him into the group. I made a connection
Mm,
several months ago,
yeah,
and I think briefly before Christmas or so.
yeah,
And I think Jennifer was quite fascinated by him,
mm,
and there was some exchange, but it was lost
yeah,
again.
yeah,
But we
but-
could reactivate it and say, okay, if he would like, if we have a outline, a brief outline, what should be written down or so,
yeah,
thinking of his competence. But he's an extremely good moderator of all these processes like
I know,
transdisciplinarity,
yeah,
and he could go deeper into the details what is yeah, how to organize new governance, yeah, and he
yeah,
has slides which are
I know, yeah. So
yeah,
would it be worth perhaps trying to set up a Zoom session with him?
yes, exactly,
Maybe the two of us and
yeah,
Ray,
yeah,
and explain to him what we're doing and see, if he's able to support us.
yes, this would be a great idea. um,
Would you like me to approach him, or would you like
Yes,
to?
I don't want to overload you with work, but I think I'm not. If you write the email and
Okay,
put me CC, then I could
okay,
enforce this
right,
initiative and
okay,
write to him, and
right,
if he has some rejection or something, then I could work
okay,
again. But I'm sorry, because of my technical. First is the language. This is really a problem, and my technical facilities or competence in organizing these things.
okay, okay. I'll do that then, Felix. I'll set something up in probably a couple of weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'll write to him now and suggest. Well, not now, but today. I'll write to him today and suggest that we have a meeting in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And I'll suggest a time for him as well. Yeah, and we'll see where we go from that.
Yeah. We have in Europe we have a morning session that he has in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. We might have to set something up for an early morning. Maybe
yeah.
7 or 8 o'clock. Um, well, 7 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock your time, probably. That would probably be
Yes. Yeah.
okay for him because that would be his early evening then.
They have eight
Okay.
hours, I think. So it's
Yeah.
5 o'clock in. I think it's for us it's better maybe.
Yeah.
We, we, for you it's if it's for you 9 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock for us in
Yeah.
Vienna,
Yeah.
and it's about 6 or 7 o'clock at night for him, so it would be a comfortable time.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
I, yeah. So a lot of my meetings at work start at 8 o'clock or sometimes
Yeah.
so a 7 o'clock start for me and an 8 o'clock start for you would be better if that's possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Summertime.
Yeah. I better get back to work.
Yeah. So what was sorry, number 8, number 9 was what?
It was about the it was societal
We
change, lessons learned and practice, but that we can call it whatever we like. Yeah.
okay.
So it'd be about, I don't know, societal change and new governance or something like that. If we were to get Ray involved, societal change and new governance for future pandemics and future problems or something like that.
But this is similar 8 and 9 also.
Yeah. Oh no, there is no 9. There is no 9. 8 is the last paper. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. This was
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, thank you, Gary. Thank you very much for your work, and I don't want to.
No, thank you.
Don't want you to keep off of work. So the next